mga kaibigan! Welcome to In My Toolbox, your go-to channel for all things business, finance, sales, and marketing, and anything that's interesting. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or someone looking to sharpen their skill set, this is the space where we unpack the tools you need to succeed. In each episode, mga kaibigan, we dig deep into strategies, share actionable insights, and offer expert advice to you for you to be able to navigate the fast-paced world of business. From mastering sales techniques and decoding marketing trends to understanding financial literacy and building a growth-focused mindset, we've got you covered. Think of us as your personal toolbox. Always stocked with a resource, tips, and inspiration you need to tackle challenges, grow your business, and achieve your goals. So if you're ready, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, always watch In My Toolbox. All right, my name again is Enrico. Welcome to In My Toolbox. All right, mga kaibigan, this is our first episode this year, 2025, and I would want to talk about a very exciting topic called ChatGPT. I don't know if you've heard about this one. So, let's talk a little bit about ChatGPT. So, have you ever wondered how artificial intelligence, they can carry conversation like humans? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So, ChatGPT is actually an advanced large language model, or they call it LLM. If you're just starting to use artificial intelligence, maybe, my hope is actually for you to be able to understand a little bit using this episode. So, we're going to be exploring that LLM that I mentioned and how ChatGPT actually works. And maybe I'll throw some practical exercises later on how to be able for me to be able to introduce, you to the world of basic prompt engineering. And of course, the most important term in the AI world. So again, what is ChatGPT, or what you call the large language model? Mga kaibigan, picture this one, okay? I want you to think about this one. Picture a very big library, really, really big. Think about that, Now, this library is filled with every book in the world. Literally, every book in the world, every article in the world, and every web page that's been written in the world. They're all in one giant library. Okay, now, once you imagine that, imagine a super smart librarian like me. Just kidding. Imagine a super smart librarian who was able to read everything, every article, every book, right, in that library. And add this one. That librarian, because that librarian is so smart, right? It can understand and able to generate human-like text based on all the knowledge that that librarian has. Wow. That's huge, right? So that in itself is called the large language model. So these models are called large because how I pictured it is very big, right? So because they are trained on massive amounts of text data. Look at this one, guys. Text data, so everything that's written. So not only that what's written that they can actually talk to us about, but they can also acknowledge patterns. They can also acknowledge relationships and structures in that language. So why do they have to do that? Because it will allow them to generate coherent and can contextually appropriate responses to prompts that we give ChatGPT or the questions that we ask. By the way, mga kaibigan, if you have ChatGPT right now, to be able to communicate with them on a text or a chat base, right? So you can ask questions or you can actually generate prompts. Prompts, we will be talking about that in the later part, right? So in return, if you're able to do prompts or chats of question, ChatGPT is like, that super smart librarian that I talked to you about. That's ChatGPT. But again, they especially focus on engaging in conversation. So when you ask questions or put prompts in ChatGPT, this large language model, by the way, this is developed by OpenAI. Now they are designed to understand and be able to generate human-like text in chat format. So when you say chat format, it's just like, your cell phone, you chat with your friend, and that's exactly how you communicate with ChatGPT. And more likely, that's also how ChatGPT communicate back to you. So the next question here now, if that's how ChatGPT is, how does it actually work, right? So, well, it's like a game of, what do you call this? A word prediction, okay? So when you give ChatGPT a prompt, or again, a question, remember I told you the way to communicate through text with ChatGPT, it's either you put a prompt or you ask question, right? So when you communicate with ChatGPT, it looks at words that you actually have used, and it is able to predict the most likely, the next word that you're going to be typing based on ChatGPT's training. It does this over and over, and then building up a response word by word. For example, mga kaibigan, okay? So think about this one. If you start the sentence with, the cat sat on the, right? You haven't finished the sentence yet. ChatGPT might already be predicting the next word will be mat. Because as the next word, that is going to be predicting mat, because it has seen that pattern many times, in its training data. Well, ChatGPT on the background has what you call training data. Remember, I talked to you about structures, patterns. This ChatGPT has been trained to notice, so it's able to predict what you're about to say. In fact, right now, even in our cell phones, smartphones, right, when you text, some phones can already predict the next word that you're going to be typing. And similarly to ChatGPT, because they have used, or you have used that pattern many times, and they have read it many times during the training data, so they can actually predict the next word. Now, it's not just about individual words, it can be a sentence, right? So ChatGPT understands the context of what you're actually typing or communicating with him, and it can actually generate even complex and meaningful responses. So basically, mga kaibigan, when you talk to ChatGPT, right, you need to have a little bit of a simple process. It actually generates coherent and contextually appropriate responses, as I've told you a while ago, to questions and prompts that you are actually be chatting ChatGPT about. So the process should be, what is the task? And then the next one is, what is the subject? And then, what do you want to do? So 3 parts, right? The task that you would want ChatGPT to do, and the second one is the subject that you would want ChatGPT to work on, and the what, right? So I'll give an example, right? So you say, with ChatGPT, start texting, right, or chatting with him. Can you help me, right? The task, right? Can you help me by sharing the best recipes? See? So that's the subject. To make a sandwich. That's your what. So, can you help me by sharing the best recipe to make sandwich? Suppose you can also use ChatGPT. Suppose you're writing a story, and sometimes, when you're actually writing a story, and sometimes people, we just hit on a block. We stopped. We don't know what to say next, right? You can actually try ChatGPT to help you continue the story. That's kind of weird, but then again, because of patterns, structures, and the way that you formulate your words and your ideas, it can actually, read and give you more information on what you would want to go to with your story. So you can use, again, the task. You can type it to ChatGPT by putting the word continue, right? Continue the story that starts with maybe once upon a time in a land far away. Okay, so when you type that with ChatGPT, continue the story that starts with once upon a time in a land far away, more likely ChatGPT can actually continue that story. Okay, you can try that now if you're listening. If you have ChatGPT in your phone, you can try it and you see what I mean. Or, later on, just try it and download ChatGPT. It's free anyway, right? So, or you can have another example like, can you help me? Again, that's the task, right? By sharing the best recipe to make a sandwich. See, that's your prompt for ChatGPT, and let ChatGPT work. So ChatGPT, guys, doesn't just repeat a recipe that it has seen before. In fact, you type it again, it can give you another way of answering that question, right? So it just doesn't repeat a recipe that it has seen before, or it can just generate a random recipe. Instead, this ChatGPT combines its understanding to generate a unique response tailored to your question. See how powerful that is. Again, remember, large language model. Imagine all the books, all the articles, all the websites that's been written, all in one great library, and it can actually give you more, right? See, now, ChatGPT also remembers what you're talking about, and it can actually adjust to future responses accordingly. See, I'll give an example here. You can also type, I'm a vegetarian, okay? So you're going to be telling yourself, I'm a vegetarian. Can you refine your answers accordingly? So we were talking about sandwiches a while ago. So ChatGPT gave you a little bit of an answer, but now you can follow up on that text that, hey, I'm a vegetarian. Can you refine your answer accordingly? So meaning from those recipes of sandwiches that you first asked him to do, now he will, ChatGPT is going to tailor fit because you said that you are a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. Can you refine your answers accordingly? It will create new answers directly towards a vegetarian only. So as you can see, ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen, mga kaibigan, has the ability to maintain context throughout a conversation. From the first question, and then you ask a second question, you don't have to repeat the first question because he understands and is able to maintain the context from the first question, and that, thus this is a conversation between you and ChatGPT. Now, this is without guidance. The answers, well, guys, the answer is not always going to be the 100% that we all need most of the time. Now, again, I'm going to tell you, we don't get all the answers 100% or get the answers that we actually want, right? And this is the reason why. There is, of course, a lag of understanding still of ChatGPT because, it gets a lot of basis of a certain question. Now, this is where prompt engineering comes into play. The importance of prompt engineering arises for us to get the precise answers that we want. Again, remember I told you guys, when you use ChatGPT, it's either you ask ChatGPT a question or give him prompts. Now, prompts engineering will actually allow you to help you ask or put the right questions or prompts to get your at least 95% of the answer that you are actually looking for. See, if you prompt your commands effectively, you can use ChatGPT to be able to achieve your goals successfully. And making, of course, we were talking about sandwiches a while ago. Making a sandwich is a simple example of how large language models, can be helpful. But in fact, there are various applications from customer service to content creation. If you know how to prompt correctly, your prompt engineering skills is actually honed over time. You don't get it the first time, guys, right? And then, you can utilize this to be able for you to optimize the time. Well, of course, a lot of people make profit with artificial intelligence. So mga kaibigan, with large language models or LLMs, because these are sophisticated pattern recognition system. Again, we talked about pattern recognition system, right? So they're trained on vast amounts of text data. Prompt engineering, on the other hand, is the art of effectively communicating with this large language model. So basically mga kaibigan, you have to master prompt engineering for you to be able to effectively communicate your thoughts to ChatGPT and get 100%, or nearly 100% of the answers that you are looking for. So in these terms, prompt engineering is all about crafting the right input to get the desired output from these large language models like ChatGPT. Example, I'll give an example. Give me a specific recipe so I would not need to think about ingredients. That's a little bit of a specific prompt there. So, in fact, these various applications from customer service and content creation that I mentioned a while ago, prompt engineering skills matters a lot because it actually optimizes your time. And of course, we talked about profit again, right? Because a lot of people really, make a profit out of this artificial intelligence if you know how to make use of them. So in this sense, as a beginner, mga kaibigan, as a beginner prompt engineer, you can call yourself like that, right? Your main focus should be on how to effectively communicate with ChatGPT. Of course, we would want to have that effective communication with ChatGPT because, number one, you're using them to get information, right? So, again, that big library, remember? So, ChatGPT is your smart librarian. Now, you communicate with that librarian, okay? So, you would want to get the best result every time that you ask questions, or in this case, your usage of prompt engineering. So, mga kaibigan, I would encourage you, just like me, I always look for, made prompts already there that some people actually unselfishly shares on how to do certain stuff. I research that, I read it, I try it, keep exploring, mga kaibigan. Keep learning. And most importantly, when you look into ChatGPT, have fun with it, have fun with artificial intelligence. The world of large language models, mga kaibigan, and of course the prompt engineering that I'm talking about. In fact, when I started studying it, it's full of exciting possibilities beyond really your imagination, right? And just doing this, just learning right now, this is a good start if you're interested in knowing how ChatGPT works. And wait and see how this ChatGPT will actually make a difference in your daily life, your business, or however you would want to make use of ChatGPT. Wow, mga kaibigan. This is a very short show, mga kaibigan. I just want to make sure that I introduce to you what ChatGPT is all about. Keep exploring, have fun with it. Next time I'll be talking to you guys, an introduction or on how to become a prompt engineering, or how, an introduction to prompt engineering is. All right? But just for right now, go out there, download ChatGPT, start learning, and I'll see you to the next episode of course, In My Toolbox. Once again, my name is Enrico Pobre, signing off.